All right, man. Gary Russell says that he would put a whipping on Edwin De Los Santos. Also reacted to Chris Colbert losing. We're gonna talk about that. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. So let's pull this up real quick. Here we go. So Gary Russell do a lot of talking, but not a lot of fighting no more. He says Gary Russell believes he'll walk through Edwin De Los Santos. He not sharp enough. So he'll be climbing up 2 weight classes for this. He says, so it says, shout out to Hans. He said, it's been believed a while since fans have seen Gary Russell in the ring. It's been a while. The former featherweight champ has been both out of sight, out of mind since losing his title to Mark Mayaxo. In addition to undergoing shoulder surgery, simply hasn't been interested in jumping back in the mix with just anyone. As for where he sees himself competing in his days at 126 are essentially over. Moving up 1 weight class is normally the pragmatic move for most fighters, but Gary Russell believes he needs a 2-division reprieve. Excuse me. Going up to 135 pounds could give Russell a ton of options. Of course, aging vet would rather fight for world title in his debut. If, however, that isn't possible, he admitted that he wouldn't have an issue taking a highly ranked contender like Edwin De Los Santos. He said, quote, I could see that. Said Russell during the interview with Mill City Box Whatnot, and I could see that. De Los Santos, 24, needs a good feel-good story following his close but clear defeat at the hands of Shakur Stevenson on the night. Dominican did his best in the corner, did his best to corner Stevenson and let his hands go. Well, didn't do his best. I'm pretty sure that's what that meant. But it was as if Shakur was 2 steps ahead. Basically, he says that I spank his ass. I definitely would. I definitely got some pop, but he wild. He's not sharp. He definitely got some pop, but he wild. He not sharp enough. So he basically said that Edwin De Los Santos is not sharp enough. Versus him, he acknowledged that he got some power, but he ain't sharp enough, and that's a dangerous fight. You'll think that possibly they would love to put him in the ring with you know, with a champion, but I just think he probably need to prove himself. He been out the ring a long time, get on a couple undercards, get some activity going, and then possibly challenge the Shakur Stevenson. But if he want to come right back in there with if you want to come back right back in there with Edwin De Los Santos, I'm all for it. But if his heart ain't into fighting no more, ain't for me, in my opinion, ain't no point in fighting if your heart ain't in it no more. If your heart ain't in it, what's the point of you fighting? That's a really good question. So if his heart ain't in the going in there and thumping and doing what he need to do and handling his business, then he should just train his brother and just shut the hell up. And word around the street is that he asked for too much money, and that's why he get put on the back burner. They said he wanted to get paid like a welterweight, and he trying to live off what he was in the amateurs. And that's kind of why Shakur Stevenson feel entitled like that. Shakur Stevenson feel entitled because Shakur Stevenson feel entitled because he feels entitled because he was an amateur. He was a silver medalist amateur. That's why he feels entitled. So that's exactly why you feel entitled. So it is what it is. But they ain't basing right now. Is pretty much you got to bring that viewership and that viewership into the professional ranks, and it's not as it's not as easy. It is not as easy, So, but yeah, I just feel for him that the best thing for him to do is just try to be active. You know, try to remain active. You know, but if you don't want to fight no more, I wouldn't fight no more. Shit, if you financially good enough not to fight, I wouldn't fight. You know, I wouldn't fight. That's how you get. That's how you get hurt. That's how you get hurt. You know, that's how you get hurt. So, but nonetheless, him and De Santos, that'll be a good fight. It's a dangerous fight because if you re-injure your shoulder or he crack his ass, Gary is a small guy. I've met him at the Barclays Center. He's a very small guy, but I'm not sure that he got enough size to go up there. I think what he showed versus Mayaxo that even when he got injured, he showed that he can move. He showed that if he have to, he can move his head and be slick. That's what he showed. He showed if he got to, he can move his head and be slick. So, um, so so he showed that part of his versatility and all that stuff as well too. So, at the end of the day, you'd think he want to go pick a belt up at 126 real quick, but once again, especially with PBC now having Lamont Roach, and they can do that down there in the DMV, that might make a lot of sense financially for both of them. But once again, he's just one of them dudes that just, it seemed like from what I hear, he more concerned about the money. From what I hear, he more concerned about the money than the activity. That's just what you hear through the grapevine. That he want to get paid like a welterweight. So he want to get paid like a welterweight. And at the end of the day, and if that's the case, that's the case. If that's the case, that's the case. Know your worth, King. Know your worth. You know, but at the end of the day, we just gotta wait and see what's going down there. But let's switch lanes on this one. So Gary Russell and Chris Colbert getting KO'd. He got his ass scorched. So he said he definitely lost the first fight. This Gary Russell said Russell during the interview with Mill City Boxing. He definitely got a gift. He definitely got his ass scorched in the second fight. There's no reason why he should want to fight that man again. He got his ass beat. So there you go. At the end of the day, they had their little feud going, and Chris Colbert was another guy that was saying that Gary Russell didn't want to fight nobody. He was another guy saying that. Saying that Gary Russell didn't want to fight. He was saying that too. He was like, man don't want to fight. He do all this talking. We tried to make the fight, and he don't want to fight. So, yep, he was another guy that was going around saying this. Everybody got mad at Leo Santa Cruz, but they were saying that he was asked for welterweight type money. That was the word on the street. And for the most part, Colbert said the same thing, that the guy just didn't want to fight. So at what point do we hold this man responsible? That's what you got to ask yourself. At what point do we hold this man responsible? You know, so if the guy don't want to fight, we can't make him fight. But what's so funny about it is, in this generation, a lot of guys that want to duck or don't want to fight, they be the loudest people in the room. That's the upsetting thing about it. They be the loudest people in the room. And that's what I'm saying. Now, how we out here, talking shit, but then we don't want to fight, you know, and we don't want to fight. So, it is what it is. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the boxing news playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love, support, everything in the link tree. From my other channel, Motor Sports Talk, to my Detroit channel, you know, Motor Sports Talk, to my news channel, Free Game 89. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.